right, let's hit the field.
It is Monday, April 21st, and the Yankees were hitting some long balls in Cleveland, but would it be enough to overcome a very tough start by Clarke Schmidt? My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Yikes. Tough day, guys. Tough day for the New York Yankees in Cleveland. We knew Jose Ramirez was going to be a problem coming in, and he had a big 3-run home run in the third inning. And Manzardo, another guy that we previewed yesterday as part of the Guardians preview, hit a big home run. And the Yankees fell behind 6-0 tonight. Now, they did scrap back. You have to give this team some credit for at least making a game out of it. They brought the tying run to the plate in the ninth inning in the person of Aaron Judge, the most dangerous home run hitter in Major League Baseball. And unfortunately, he struck out. But all in all, not a great night for the Yankees for a number of reasons. First of all, they usually play better than this at Progressive Field, Guardians Ballpark. Used to be called Jacobs Field. I always want to call it Jacobs Field, but they've typically played well since it opened. Derek Jeter had his first game of his rookie campaign there. I'll never forget that. Oh, he got around on that one. Holy cow, that's gone. That's my Phil Rizzuto. It's not very good. But if you watch the game, it was pretty forgettable early on. We say every year, multiple times, every team is going to win about 50 games. Every team is going to lose roughly 50 games. Now, occasionally a team will lose 46 games or 48 games and have an unbelievable season, or a team will, only win 45 games, whatever it is. I don't remember how many the White Sox won last year, but I don't think they won 50. And this just felt like one of those games that the Yankees were destined to lose. And this is a tough series, a tough ballpark on the road. Clarke Schmidt was not sharp. I was hopeful for this because I felt like he really put it together after a tough start in his first outing. Kind of came out of the gates a little clunky, but then he put it together. Tonight, just wasn't able to continue that momentum. And, one of our hottest hitters in Trent Grisham was out with, he's on paternity leave. So started Pablo Reyes in right field. Ben Rice was not in the starting lineup. He did play later in the game. We got home runs from Dominguez and from Jazz, but 10 hits were not enough as the Yankees fall 6-4. We did a pregame show tonight. We're going to do it pretty much every day for the rest of the week. I'm testing out the format to see if you guys like it. Now, it doesn't have as much time to sit on the shelf as what they would call evergreen or whatever. But we can go live a couple of hours before the show or before the game and just kind of talk about the lineups, talk about the starting pitching matchups and stuff. So I'm going to do that again. So call in as part of the pregame tomorrow. Just something we're experimenting with this week and might stick with it depending on how you guys like it. But the feedback tonight was pretty good. But let's go ahead and get to the recap.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Now, you could tell early on that this was going to be a tough one. The Yankees wasted some base runners in the first inning. They got some guys on, but could not scratch across a run. You did have a big, booming double from Aaron Judge, but he got stranded. My Nostraderic prediction tonight was 2 hits for Aaron Judge,
Wrong.
And he went 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. So did not get that one right. This guy, Gavin Williams. I mean, if I were a Guardians fan, I would be absolutely pumped about Gavin Williams. This guy has incredible stuff. He was hitting triple digits. He was dropping an enormous 12-6 hook. The Yankees, you could tell, were caught in between the two, and they just had a lot of trouble. He took a shutout into the 7th inning. Now, my internet actually went out in the 3rd inning, and I was talking to Frankie Baseball. I was like, Frankie, I might need you to fill in for me tonight. I might need you to cancel the show if this gets much worse. I don't like to cancel a show even if the Yankees get blown out. It has happened once or twice. I think they lost by 18 runs one time, and I was like, you know what? We're just going to bag this one. But you know, it was worth it to have the show because there were some positives. We had a 2-run home run from Dominguez. We had a 2-run home run from Jazz Chisholm. The Dominguez home run was gargantuan, 445 feet, a complete no-doubter. Now, he went up there looking for that breaking ball. He went up there searching for, the big overhand curveball, and he went down and got it. And my channel says another Nostradamus prediction. You got that one right.
Oh!
Anyway, he went up there looking for it, obviously, because he had been swinging through that curveball. And that's what you do with it. When you're looking for something, you smash it. 25 rows deep into the right field seats, at least. Jazz Chisholm also went deep. He hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight, so maybe he's coming out of it. We had talked a little bit on the pregame. We had a caller who mentioned that, we had hoped he would turn it around in the warm weather in Florida. Didn't really happen. But tonight, 2-run home run, maybe that gets him going. It was a reasonable night. I'm sure it got chillier as the night went on, right there on the water in Cleveland. It always does. But, the midges at least weren't out. We had, some rough defense. There was a ball that got called a hit that Volpe kind of booted that I felt was an error. Volpe went 1 for 3 tonight. We'll talk about him a little bit in a minute. I want you guys ahead of time, before we get there, to leave your Volpe comments in the chat. I want to try and gauge what the fan base is really feeling about Anthony Volpe right now in year 3, because he's been, kind of up and down. We got some comments here, like Alex says, has Anthony Volpe learned to hit a fastball yet? There's definitely some mixed results. I do think there's a lot of value in a great defensive shortstop, but the offense certainly leaves a lot to be desired at this point. Ben Rice pinch hit in the 9th inning, but grounded out on the first pitch that he saw. At least he's healthy, right? At least he's healthy. He's a huge part of the offense. He'll probably be back in there tomorrow. At least you have to hope so. Oswaldo. I got to give a little shout out to Oswaldo Cabrera. Continues to have impressive at-bats. He had 2 hits. He raised his average to 302. He's got a 750 OPS on the season. Now, he's not putting up huge numbers. If you look at his numbers, he only has 1 home run and 5 RBIs, but he does have a 373 on-base percentage. I feel like he's having really solid at-bats, and, if he keeps it up, he's going to be a valuable player. Now, he's had some difficulty throwing the ball. He overthrew first base a couple of times down there in Tampa, but for the most part, I've liked the way Oswaldo has played this year. Austin Wells got called out on another brutal call by the home plate umpire in the 9th. There was another bad call against Aaron Judge. First pitch by Cade Smith was a fastball, was 99, and it was probably 3 or 4 inches off the plate. I haven't seen the exact metrics, but it was clearly outside. So, as much as you hate to blame the umps, tonight the umps definitely played a factor in a big part of the game. So, terrible strike zone. And for as bad as this game looked about halfway through, the Yankees were down 6-0. A couple of 2-run home runs, and then before you knew it, Aaron Judge was up as the tying run in the 9th inning, but unfortunately whiffed on a nasty splitter, and the Yankees dropped to 14-9. Hoopa says that the Yankees only struck out 12 times tonight. Progress, baby, progress. So we got a comment here about DJ LeMahieu. He is amping up his rehab. You wonder what his role is going to be when he comes back. My guess is he's going to replace Pablo Reyes, only he's not going to play the outfield. I think when the Yankees need an outfielder, they'll put Oswaldo back out there. Hopefully they'll have Grisham most of the time. They'll have a full complement of outfielders. But I think he'll replace Reyes as kind of that last man on the bench. I don't see him getting a lot of opportunities to start at third base. I mean, it's possible that, he takes over for Oswald Peraza. The Yankees don't really seem to like Oswald Peraza for whatever reason. He was the number 1 prospect for a while. He has shown some good signs this year. He had a home run early in the season. He, has had a couple of big doubles. He's played great defense, but the Yankees just don't seem to believe in him for whatever reason. Maybe it's things like the swing path and the metrics that we really can't see behind the scenes. But I don't see DJ LeMahieu really impacting this team all that much. I'm going to pull up his numbers real quick, and we'll take a look at him. Because last year his numbers were brutal. Year before that, they were brutal. go ahead and pull up the screen share here. You see that last year he hit 204 with just 2 home runs and 26 RBIs and a 269 on-base percentage. So not what he's been in his career. You date back to, when he was winning the batting title in the COVID season, he went to 364 with the average, 421 on-base percentage. And then since then, 268, 261, 243, 204. So trending in the wrong direction. And this is a guy who hits for contact or attempts to. So if he's not hitting for contact, he really doesn't have a ton of value on the team.
Pitcher spotlight.
Not much of a spotlight tonight for Clarke Schmidt. He struggled a little bit with his command out of the gate, couple of walks in the first inning. But, I was hopeful because his last time out, he struggled in the first inning. And, then he looked better. And so after he got through the first inning with no runs scoring, I was thinking, all right, let's get it going. Let's put it together. Let's throw some strikes. Let's get some weak ground balls, get some swings and misses like you're used to. And he did have some swings and misses tonight. He had 13 whiffs. He had 7 strikeouts. But unfortunately, in 4 innings, he gave up 7 hits. He gave up 5 runs. All of them were earned. He had 3 walks. And he is now sporting a 7.45 ERA on the season. Tough day at the office.
Stinks.
It stinked is right. So 96.2 on the velo. So the arm is there. But unfortunately for Clarke Schmidt, just a tough day on the home run ball. Okay, so I posted that. I wanted to get your thoughts on Volpe. Now, typically, I like to write up my thoughts and jot down some notes. But I thought maybe we could just look at Anthony Volpe's StatCast numbers and just kind of talk about him, off the cuff here and just kind of see how we're all feeling about him. There's been a lot of talk about Anthony Volpe on social media lately. A lot of people are just not convinced that, he's going to become the player that the Yankees and their fans hoped he would be. Now, he has shown some improvement. We're going to pull up the StatCast. His base running value is still well above average, and now the batting run value is above average. We did see a base hit up the middle tonight. We saw him rip one in the corner on a fastball the other day. But, we get comments like this from Alex, who says, Volpe stinks, dude can't hit, kills so many rallies. And I don't necessarily disagree about him killing rallies. I think he does kill some rallies because I think he tries to hit the ball out of the ballpark too much. As we go through some of his StatCast numbers, you see the spray chart too. He hits the ball to all fields, which is good. But the chase percentage is above average. The barrel percentage is above average. Not hitting the ball on the sweet spot as much this year, which is interesting because he's got that torpedo bat, and that's kind of like the whole point of that. The walk percentage is good. The range is really good. Whiff percentage, strikeout percentage, all tough. And expected batting average is 209, which is what he hit as a rookie. So you really, by this point, want to see more advancement than what Anthony Volpe has given us. So let's close this down and let's take some comments here and just talk about Volpe for a minute. YouTuber2 says, great defense, but he's trying to only hit home runs, just make contact. I do feel like he tried to make more contact last year, and it led to softer contact and less power. And I think the Yankees might have told him, hey, you're better off just swinging hard. Maybe you'll run into, a few more doubles, a few more home runs. They got the torpedo bat to maybe fix some of that stuff, but a mixed bag so far for Anthony Volpe, who is now 23 years old. Sam G says Volpe is so bad, always swinging out of his cleats. Now, I did see a comment. Here we go. Stephanie McAllister says Volpe got a hit and a walk. He did okay this game with the home run. He scored a run, 1 of 4. So, correct there. And that's why I say mixed bag. But I mostly want to talk about him because he has been the name all over social media. It seems like every year there's somebody who catches the brunt of the Yankees' ire when they're not dominating the league. And at this point in his career, he has not evolved as a hitter as we hoped. The defense has been spectacular, but, there's so much more to being a shortstop these days. He's ranked near the bottom of the league in offense as shortstops. And if you'd rank him overall as a shortstop, he's right around the middle of the pack. He's like 15th to 17th, something like that. And the reason that is because the defensive value brings him up quite a bit, but it doesn't get him to where he would be if his offense where it was the first half. If his offense was where it was the first half of last year. Now, you go back and look at June of last year, he was getting on base at a crazy clip. He was on base 34 days in a row. I want to know where that guy went. Let's see here. We got a lot of comments here about DJ. Back to hit ground balls and make soft outs. Ouch. Raymond Velen says Volpe should be the 9th hitter. I don't disagree. Got some speed there. And we got some people agreeing with that. And Hooper says, Boone will pencil in DJ. He's definitely going to pencil him in, but I don't think that he's going to have a huge leash. Apparently last year, the Yankees were ready to DFA him at one point until Judge stepped in and nixed that idea. Gregory Wayne says, agree Volpe in the 9 spot and leave him there, table setter position. And Lori C wants to move him down in the order. My channel says he's too positive for the team and has too good of defense. I'm interested with that too positive. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Frankie Baseball says, I wish Volpe was consistently good, consistently mid, or consistently bad. I don't care, just be consistent. That's what you want out of a player, consistency. I do think he's been consistently mid. He's been consistently like up and down. That to me, that's consistently mid. Dale Hoke says, Yankees fans expect Jeter and Volpe isn't Jeter. I don't think there's ever going to be another Jeter in our lifetime. Now, Judge is a different type of player. He's another first ballot Hall of Famer, but not beloved by the fans even the way Jeter was because he hasn't done it as much in the playoffs. So my channel says Volpe for Alcantara. I don't think that the Marlins would make that deal. And Alex echoes that statement. He says the Marlins would laugh in Cashman's face if he offered that deal. Anyway, Raymond Allen says, in a perfect world, imagine us with Ellie De La Cruz. I think that the Reds are going to lock up De La Cruz at some point. And then Frankie says, don't ever expect someone to be Jeter. Asking too much. 100% agree. Okay, so we're going to get back to True Classic tonight. They are our sponsor tonight. Then we'll be back to take a few more comments, and I think we got 2 voicemails. I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, True Classic. If you're looking for clothes that don't break the bank and actually fit, True Classic is the move. I am wearing a True Classic shirt right now. Since they sent me a package of them, I've been wearing them pretty much nonstop because they are so comfortable. They're light. They fit well. As you can see, they form to the body well. I've lost a bunch of weight lately, and I just needed some transitional clothing, and they came along at the perfect time. They have long sleeves. They have short sleeves. It's great for taking a walk, for when you go to the gym, or when you're just hanging around the backyard with your dog. So whether you are layering up and getting ready for winter, or trying to relax and enjoy the cool breeze in the springtime or the summertime, True Classic is the way to go. Visit trueclassic.com/stripe. trueclassic.com/stripe and elevate your wardrobe today. All right, Colin says that Volpe had a 3.4 WAR last year. That's good. You're not wrong, but most of that was defense. And a lot of that was compiled early on in the season. You look at his second half WAR, it wasn't very good. The Yankees legend says Warren needs to go deep into the game tomorrow. I 100% agree. All right, quick voicemail.
Yo, what's going on? Had to say, I was looking at the Yankees lineup before the game. We're now in the 6th inning here. Losing 5-zip happens. Can't be that mad. I'd rather lose by 5, not thinking I'm going to win, than blow a game in the 9th inning we should win when you're up 4. But one thing I noticed prior to the game here was that 6 out of the 9 Yankees, and specifically 4 out of those 6 in today's starting lineup, had batting averages in the hundreds. 150, 179, so on and so forth. 125, I think, was one. 4 Yankees in the starting lineup had batting averages in the 100. Another 2 had batting averages in the low 200s. That's 2/3 of the lineup. 2/3 of the lineup are anemic. That is a problem. I didn't realize the New York Yankees, most popular team in baseball, needs to include diapers and a bib instead of just a helmet and a bat to go up there every at-bat. This is terrible.
Yeah, a lot of low averages. I mean, to be fair, though, we are 23 games into the season, and averages can change quickly. You know, somebody gets 3 hits, their average goes up 20, 30, 40 points at this point sometimes. Goldschmidt still hitting 372. Judge hitting 384, so it's kind of imbalanced. Wells at 182. I'll just go ahead and put up the box score. And for the people who are listening, I'll run through them real quick. Chisholm, 161. Volpe at 217. Dominguez at 232. Reyes at 182. Granted, he hasn't played much. And then Rice at 288. He had 1 at bat. And Cabrera at 302. Cabrera has been one of our more consistent hitters when you look at it. So obviously the averages are not what you want. Not what you want. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tough night. I'll be back with a pregame tomorrow. Check out the merch store, nydesigns.shop. Again, I'll bring it up. We looked at this yesterday, but I've since added even more designs. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So you guys saw Dreamweaver. We've got Belly Bomb now. That's a coffee mug. Our coffee mugs are our most popular item. Hats, also popular. We got some Ben Rice merch. This is Ben Rice popping out of a rice bowl. Hey now. And then we've got, let's see what else did we add today. We got Max Effort, Max Freed on a t-shirt. And again, we're putting these on all sorts of merch, not just shirts, whatever. So check out nydesigns.shop. Help me out. It'll help the channel out financially. I'm on my own right now, so I am, any help you guys can provide will go a long way towards continuing the success of Pinstripe Territory. Thanks to everybody who's watching, and we will see you when we see you. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.